Hello, welcome to Learn Page by Page. I'm Sally, and in this video I'm going to work through the simultaneous equation for you. So let's dive straight in. So our first equation, root 5y minus x equals 6. And I always label my equations. So the first one, second equation, x squared plus y squared equals 36. That's a circle equation, and that's equation 2. So I think we should start by rearranging equation 1. Let's isolate x, get x on its own. So bring equation 1 down here, root 5y minus x equals 6, and I want x on its own, and at the moment it's negative, so I'm going to move it over here and make it positive. To do that, we're going to add x to both sides. That will give me root 5y equals 6 plus x, but I want the x on its own, so I need to move this 6 and take that over there. I do that because it's a positive 6, we have to subtract 6, and I end up with root 5y minus 6 equals x. Perfect. I'll write that round the other way. It means exactly the same thing. X equals root 5y minus 6. And now what I can do is I can substitute this value of x, root 5y minus 6, into equation 2. So here I have an x value, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in a bracket, or you may call them parentheses, depending where you are in the world. You'll hear from my accent, I'm from the UK, so I will say bracket, so do bear with me. So I'm going to put this in bracket wherever my x value is. Let's do that. Move that up for you. And then equation 2, that was x squared plus y squared equals 36. And let's substitute our value of x, root 5y minus 6 squared plus y squared equals 36. Now we're going to expand these brackets because that's what our squared term means. It means we have to multiply this by itself. That means we have root 5y minus 6, close the bracket, open up another one, root 5y minus 6, close bracket, plus the y squared equals 36. And do write the whole equation out. A lot of students may just write this bit out, leaving this thinking they're going to bring it in later, but often it will get forgotten that way. So keep your equations written out fully. And then here what we're going to do is use the FOIL method. So we'll do the firsts, we'll multiply the first parts, then we'll multiply the outside, then the inside, and then we'll do the last. If you're unaware of the FOIL method or you need a recap, I have got another video, so I'll link it in the end for you. And the first one we have root 5y multiplied by 5y. Now this is where 90% of students go wrong. And I mean students of maths, high school students, GCSE students that are studying this and not really comfortable with square root signs. But all we have is actually root 5 multiplied by y, and then we're multiplying it by another root 5 and y. So that's multiplied by root 5 again and multiplied by y. And the root 5 multiply the root 5, and that would just eliminate the square root signs, and then you're just left with 5. So here you're going to have 5, and then the y times the y squared. So there's our 5y squared. Then we have root 5y multiplied by negative 6, and that's minus 6 root 5y. We have the same again here, minus 6 root 5y. And then lastly, we have the negative 6 multiplied by another negative 6. That's going to give us positive 36. Add our y squared equal to 36. Remember, like terms are terms that are like each other. So we have a squared term. Here we have a root 5y term, and here we have a number term. So we've got 5y squared plus y squared. That gives us 6y squared. Negative 6 root 5y. We've got two of those. So that would give us minus 12 root 5y. And then lastly, plus 36. And that all equals 36. Now we'll deal with this number. We'll subtract it from both sides. You can see we're going to end up with 0, which is perfect. It's what we wanted, really. So minus 36 from both sides. And then we're left with 6y squared minus 12 root 5y equals 0. And the next thing I think we should do is we should actually remove the common factors. So each term has a common factor of 6 and there's a y in each term. So if we pull those common factors out and we have 6y here, then open a bracket, and well, 6y multiplied by what would give us 6y squared, and that would be y. And then same logic, 6y multiplied by what would give us 12 root 5y. And so that's going to be a 2 root 5 and close our bracket equals 0. So let's look at this one first. So if 6y is equal to 0, well then if we were to divide both sides by 6, we would know that y equals 0. There's our first y value, so let's pop a box around that. Then our second one is this here. So we have y minus 2 root 5 equal to 0. And so we would add 2 root 5 to both sides, and we end up with y 2 root 5. So there's our second y value. So what we're doing now to find our x value, we're going to substitute these two y values into equation 1. So root 5y minus x equals 6, and wherever there is a y value, we're going to pop that in a bracket and work out what x is. And we do when y equals 0, we have root 5 multiplied by 0 minus x equals 6. Well, root 5 multiplied by 0, that would be 0. So we're just left with negative x equals 6. And whenever you get this, you just switch the signs. Remember, there is a positive there. So what you're actually in theory doing is you would be minusing 6 on both sides and you would be adding the x to make the x positive. But by this stage we should know that, so that means x equals negative 6. Box around that, and when y is 0, x is negative 6. So there's our first pair. And then the next one we're going to do is when y equals 2 root 5. And again we'll be using equation 1, root 5y minus x equals 6. So we have root 5 multiplied by 2 root 5, close your bracket, minus x equals 6. And remember, there is an invisible multiplication sign in between this root 5 and that bracket. So we have the root 5 multiplied by the root 5. That will eliminate the square root sign and you end up with just 5. So you'll have 2 multiplied by 5 minus x equals 6. I'm going to take this up here for you. And 2 multiplied by 5 is 10 minus x equals 6. And we will add the x, so we move it over to the other side. And we subtract the 6. And we end up with x equals 4 when y is 2 root 5. So there's our pair of solution. And to prove that they are correct, we need to put them back into the equations. So let's check the first one. X is minus 6 and y is 0. So for equation 1, we have root 5 multiplied by y. Now y is 0 minus negative 6 equals 6. And is that correct? Well, yes, because root 5 multiplied by 0, that's 0. And then we have negative multiplied by a negative 6. That's going to give us a positive 6. So 6 equals 6, and that checks out. So that's correct. And then let's check it in equation 2. That's equation 2, and that's x squared. Remember I said that's our circle graph. I'll show you that in Desmos in a minute, actually. Desmos is a graphical calculator. If you've not used it, it's fabulous. It means you haven't actually got to plot the graphs, and it gives you a really good visual of what these two graphs look like. X value we had negative 6 and our y was 0. Let's put that in. What do we have? Well, we have negative 6 squared plus 0 squared equals 36. And yeah, we can see that's going to definitely check out because a negative 6 multiplied by negative 6, that's indeed positive 36. So that one checks out as well. Now we'll come over, we'll check these two, and we'll bring equation 1 over, which was root 5y minus x equals 6. And our first one, we have root 5 multiplied by 2 root 5, close the bracket, minus 4 equals 6. So from the work we did before, we know this is going to become 2 multiplied by 5 minus 4 equals 6. We have 10 minus 4 equals 6. 6 equals 6. That one checks out as well. And lastly, we're going to put these into the circle graph. That was equation 2, which was x squared plus y squared equals 36. And 4 squared plus 2 root 5 squared, does that equal 36? So the 4 squared, that's going to be 16 plus, so 2 root 5 squared, well, what do we have? We have 2 root 5 multiplied by 2 root 5. So what we have there is 2 times 2 is 4. Root 5 times root 5 is 5, and that will give us 20. So 16 plus 20 indeed equals 36. So that one checks out as well. And now, as promised, let's put these two equations into Desmos. And here it is. If you've not used it before, do give it a go. It's completely free. It's online. You can get an app as well, and it's fabulous. You can see you've got a cursor flashing in the top left corner. You see where it's number 1? You've got that little cursor flashing. Might be a bit small on your screen, so I apologise if it is, but trust me, it is there. So firstly, we're going to press the square root sign, root 5. Then I've just clicked out of the root, and here I'm going to put a y. That's our root 5y. Subtract it, and that is going to equal 6. And there's that graph. We can see that's a linear graph. That's a straight line. And then if we hit enter, we're going to put our circle graph in. And that one was x squared, y squared equals 36. And there's our two graphs. And the solutions that we found, I'll zoom in for you. So the first one was x is minus 6 and y is 0. And that's that one there. You can see that's true. And then the other one we had x was 4 and y was 2 root 5. If you look down the bottom of the screen, you'll see that x is 4 and y is 4.47 something, which obviously the exact answer is 2 root 5. And that should be everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helped. If it did, go ahead, hit subscribe to be notified of any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.